With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.
A thrilling victory. Hello everyone and welcome to the Watson Brown Show presented by IWC Cash and Carry alongside Tennessee Tech head coach Watson Brown. I'm your host Buddy Pearson. Well, the Golden Eagles returned home in fine fashion after a brutal 3-game road swing, delighting the T2 faithful with a thrilling 30-27 overtime victory over Murray State. Coach, a much needed win for your team.
Buddy, if you coach like I do, your hair would look like this.
I'm working on it. I'm doing the radio, so now it's looking like this.
It ain't the same.
With
those 18, 19, 20-year-olds, I'm telling you, was that game was
it was a roller coaster ride.
8 million rolls, and about the time you think you're done, you come back. About the time they think they're done, they come back. I mean, it was a, and I wouldn't even say a great game to watch because there were a lot of mistakes made by both teams.
It was exciting.
There were some turnovers, but a very exciting game, and a lot of big plays in that game on both sides of the ball. A lot of big plays in special teams. It was a neat night. It was a neat night because we won the game.
Yeah, and to be able to come home and to win a game in front of the home crowd, that's got to be a good confidence boost for your team.
Yeah, we needed that. It was 5 weeks since we've been here. I thought we won on persistence. We just hung in there. We kept fighting. We kept fighting. Would have been real easy to throw in the towel around late third quarter there, but we just hung on, and then fourth quarter we really were the more dominant team.
Yep. Two teams looking to get back on track, squared off at Tucker Stadium as we take a look at the first half highlights brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville. The Racer defense came out and made a play right away, Coach. Darian Stone in at quarterback and
felt sorry for him. I mean, he just forced the football through to the wrong side of the field. The coverage rotated that way, and he's supposed to be throwing left instead of right, forced the ball, and defense did a great job. Held him to a field goal right out the gate.
Yeah, Carson Griffin Camp, 40-yard field goal to put Murray State up, but Tennessee Tech comes right back. John Arnold makes this 35-yard field goal, and your redshirt freshman looking pretty good.
Oh, he had a nice day. A great comeback after the tough TSU kick that he had missed, and to go get the offense to move down the field and score. This was a big play in the game right here when we got a fumble off of their quarterback and kept them out of a field goal there. That was third down, and it was a nice play by our defense to do that. Another big play where we knocked the ball loose. I think this was Malik Hall, maybe Jay Rudwall, and freshman Keith Flanagan, who we did a piece on, I guess, maybe last week.
Yeah.
Picks up the fumble, and he had to play since Bill Dillard had injured his knee and was gone for the year.
Right.
This
Darian
was a
Stone,
tough play here.
Yeah.
It's a touchdown. It's
Tyler
right in the
Harrell.
chest. And, that's the gray hair stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, not only did he drop the ball, he drops it up, and it turns into, and they go down and score. It's a 14-point swing on that one play.
Yeah, Katie Humphreys there with a 24-yard touchdown. But then on the ensuing kickoff, there's a player named Ladarius Van Leer that I don't know why you continue to kick it to him, and this is why opposing teams shouldn't kick it to him.
Well, this one is really the blocking as much in. If you watch Ladarius, he didn't have to do anything except run.
He was
But
untouched.
he can run.
Yeah.
He can run, and he is fast, and nobody's going to catch him when he hits that seam like that. And, again, every time the swing seemed to go one way, the other team would get it back. Murray gets it back again here. Humphreys makes a very nice run against us and dodges a guy right. We had a blitz on into that draw, had him for a sack, and he dodged the blitzer and took it in to score. So wild first half, up and down the field, big plays in special teams, turnovers that were huge. About everything a fan would want. You could cheer, you could boo, you could do about anything you wanted to do. It was a great first half of football.
It certainly made the radio broadcast exciting, but you go into the locker room just down 17-10 after all the stuff that happened in the first half. You got to be feeling pretty good.
I felt good. I was a little concerned about the way the ball was being moved by the Murray offense, and our defense did not have its best night. We missed a lot of tackles. We lost contain some on those bubbles that got us in trouble. But other than correcting some defensive things, which I thought we were better, especially fourth quarter, I felt very good at the half. The offense had finally got going a little bit, and we were making some first downs and scoring a few points, and I thought we'd gain some confidence from that.
Was there any particular adjustment that you made on offense for the second half?
Yeah, they were crowding us in the middle, and if you watch, we got the ball on the flanks more with the option play and got Darian loose outside some, and they really came into the game and put a lot of bodies from tackle to tackle. And I thought the coaches made some nice adjustments with that, and getting the ball in Ladarius Van Leer and Darian Stone's hand in the second half was big.
Yeah, well, the Golden Eagles clawed back to tie the game and eventually win it in overtime as we check out the second half highlights brought to you by Miller Lite. And just like you said, Coach, you take the second half kickoff, you come down, and there's Willie Davis diving into the end zone from a yard out.
Nice to get Willie back a little bit. He's about 85%. I'd like to think Eastern Kentucky he'd finally be full speed again. He's had a pulled hamstring and been a part-time player for us. Another fumble. It was that old cool, windy night. It's the first cold night of the year. I'd watched games earlier in the day a little bit, and everybody was fumbling the ball yesterday. Everybody.
Yep.
And I think that ball gets slick with that wind and a little cooler air.
Great pass, Darian Stone and Cody Matthews, who gets mauled in the end zone and still comes up with a catch.
That's the same exact play we ran against TSU that got the big play, and I think he could have been arrested on that one.
Jared Davis comes in after Darian Stone goes out, and boy, this could have been a game changer.
That was tough. I felt so sorry for Jared. It's really the only time they got close to rushing us, and Jared happened to be in there. Darian had much better protection. Fumbles the ball. We got a minute and something to go now, and we've got to try to catch back up. Jared takes us down the field, gets us in field goal range. We kick the field goal to send it to overtime.
After the Griffin Camp made the 38-yarder, Arnold ties it. Griffin Camp then in overtime, this is in overtime, has a chance to put Murray up in overtime.
Yes, and we were glad it was a field goal because now we can try to score to win the game. And he misses the field goal. Now your play calling changes a little bit. You get a little bit more conservative. I've always believed move the ball. Don't just set up a field goal. And we got it down. We made 2 first downs. We got inside the 10. On second down, we tried to move the ball to the middle of the field. On third down, we went ahead and kicked the ball. And you can see how excited our kids are.
It was good to see that excitement.
It's nice to see them have some fun. It's been 5 weeks since they tasted a victory.
And, you know, but the thing is, you don't have long to get ready for, you know, the next game. It's not like you could really savor that win very much.
The kids didn't even get 24 hours. We had to practice the next day for Martin and had to make a game plan at 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So win or lose, we knew we had to get back up the next morning, put on a tape of Martin and go to work. I mean, it was that hard to play a Thursday game. Had to do a lot of this in Conference USA when I was at UAB because of those ESPN Wednesday, Thursday, Friday games. So I'm kind of used to this, but we will get a little break, which will be good for our kids. It'll give us a little bit, buddy, of a feeling of an open date.
Right.
Because I'm going to give them Friday, Saturday, Sunday off of that week, and I think that'll freshen us up a little bit.
What a nice guy. What a nice coach.
Nice guy. Yeah.
Well, there were some key matchups besides Tennessee Tech and Murray State around the Ohio Valley Conference as we check out the OVC scoreboard brought to you by the OVC Digital Network. Up at Southeast Missouri, Coach, I believe SEMO may be for real. The Red Hawks stunned the Tigers 28-21 despite Michael German throwing 59 passes for 362 yards and 2 touchdowns. SEMO does it on the ground. Lenny's McFerrin, 21 carries, 115 yards, and a score. And now, look at there, 4-2 for Southeast Missouri, 4-2 for Tennessee State.
Yeah, they must be playing well. They didn't get a lot of yards against TSU, but they got points. And so they did find a way to get some points off that defense. I think TSU got down 17-0 in the first quarter, or close to that, and then they fought back and had a chance to win the game.
And the team Tennessee Tech will be playing next. UT Martin falls to Jacksonville State 38-14. The Skyhawks are 1-5 now. Not a lot of offense for UT Martin. Gerard Neal just 6 of 13 for 63 yards, had an interception. The leading ground gainer, 3 carries for 39 yards and a score. But for Jacksonville State, Eli Jenkins had 114 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Miles Jones, 24 carries, 150 yards and a score. Elsewhere around the OVC, number 18, Eastern Kentucky, easy winner over Austin P. Benny Coney, 15 of 24, 146 yards and a touchdown passing. Deshaun Mobley, 10 carries, 55 yards and 1 touchdown. As we check out the standings now around the Ohio Valley Conference, there's EKU, Jacksonville State. Not a big surprise at the top. SEMO, though, 2-0, off to a very good start. Eastern Illinois, that was idle this week, 1-0. But there's Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech at 1-1, Murray State, Austin Peay, and UT Martin still looking for their first conference win.
There's a lot of football to play, and a lot of these records are, you can look at them over who they've played.
Yeah.
We had some teams in our league with really tough schedules like us. EIU had an
I was going to say Eastern Illinois sitting there at 1-4. That's probably one of the best 1-4 teams in the country.
Gracious. UT Martin's had a real tough schedule. Yeah. We three had really brutal schedules. Murray's had a tough schedule. Then some of the others didn't have as tough a schedule. It'll start working its way out now that we start playing each other.
Yeah. Well, stick around. We've still got our mic'd up segment. We've still got our Golden Eagle profile, plus wherever they landed coming up. You won't want to miss it. The Watson Brown Show continues in just a moment.
Tennessee Tech tickets available at 931-372-3940 or ttusports.com.
Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show. You know, TTU has some quality young receivers, and right now you get a chance to meet one of them. Tyler Harrell is our Golden Eagle player profile, brought to you this week by Zaxby's.
My name is Tyler Harrell. I play wide receiver, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I got started playing football when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Me and my best friend started playing at Thompson down in Alabama. And my dad used to play football, and he always wanted me to play football when we were younger, so that's how I got started with my dad. I knew I could play at the collegiate level my senior year in high school when I started getting faster and doing better during my season, because my other 3 years in high school, I was coming off a broken leg. I broke both of my ankles. And my senior year is when I started getting back into the game of football and actually competing. I decided to come to Tennessee Tech because when I came up here for my official visit, I loved the school and how the small town and everything, and I decided this is the best place for me to get on the field the quickest. The biggest inspiration in my football career or sports career is my parents. They really helped me throughout all my injuries and everything, helping me work out and stay into the game. Well, my teammates would describe me as, well, they all call me Stretch because I guess I'm long. And I don't know, I guess we always joke around, so I guess funny and fun. I'll describe myself as a player as I like to find the best way to get the ball and the best way to the end zone without getting hit as much. My favorite part about being a receiver is you get to get all the touchdowns. You ain't got to worry about hitting as much because I'm kind of skinny, so I mean, I can stay away from that part. But you get to, all the glory goes with a wide receiver, and you get to score a lot of touchdowns.
And Coach, I'm sure you're hoping to see him score a lot of touchdowns.
Oh, I felt sorry for him the other night. We just watched the play, and we got so many freshmen that we're just waiting on. And John Arnold finally stepped up. Jonathan King stepped up big time. Trey Thompson stepped up big time. We were waiting on Tyler to take the next step. We've got a lot of young guys that we know are going to be really good football players, and it's just a matter of time. And it's a matter of time with Tyler.
Yeah. Well, I think you'd agree that Tennessee Tech Athletic Director Marc Wilson likes to talk a lot. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so why not hear what he has to say when he's mic'd up? Let's check it out in our mic'd up segment, brought to you by Pepsi.
Ryan, you got that going on, Ryan. Nice job. You got it. All right, Coach.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing well. Bart, how are you?
Good.
You all have them lined up here.
Yeah, they're ready.
Yep. This is a popular tailgate. Mitchell, you're looking good there. Don't worry about that smoke in your eyes. Your eyes will only be red for a little while. You give me 5? I know. Yeah, your daddy knows I bite, so it's probably a good idea.
I'm from Indiana, and so I met up with my girlfriend that we met in kindergarten, and I hadn't seen her in 15 years, so she was shocked at Ben's size and everything, and then all of a sudden he gets ejected.
He gets ejected. That's okay. Guess what? He's going to be able to tell his grandchildren someday he was at Indiana State and he got ejected from the game. Your hands are a little cold, ma'am.
It's a little cold out.
It is. It's football. You're not an old woman. Yeah.
I tell you what, I know they make a lot out of Coach Brown's 200 victories, but he wins in the school where it counts.
Exactly.
Where he
exactly.
touches these athletes.
That is correct. I appreciate you saying that, but he does, no doubt. No doubt.
Yep. I mean, they put academics first.
Academics first. He's a building man.
Yep. And when the team is there, the talent's there, he'll win. If not, the young athletes still win.
And he builds them. He builds them, and he's still winning.
Yeah, and they always win. So that's what it's all about.
That's correct. I appreciate you saying that. Thanks. Good to see you.
Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You want to play? So you're not supposed to let me do that, are you? You can't shoot better than that?
That's what I just said.
Man, what's the deal? Come on now. You're going to be better than that in games, aren't you?
I got 3. Yeah.
There you go. You called it. You got it. You got it.
I'm just glad they cut that before we saw Mark trying to shoot a basketball.
Oh, we're not going there.
No.
We're not going there. Just get a coach to recruit good players. Don't let Mark get in the middle of that one.
There you go.
No, he does a great job. He's always very positive and really a hard worker. He's been really good for me since I've been here. We kind of put a plan together when we first came, and involving playing big teams, getting money, putting it back into the program. We've done about all we can do. That next step's going to be the big one, and that, I think, is the next level we can go to when we fix the facility of the stadium and do those things. But he's been fantastic and has become a very close friend.
And that's him. I mean, that's what he does at the tailgating, at the games. I mean, he's just constantly, from person to person, shaking hands. It's like he's running for political office all the time.
I don't think he can stop. I just think that's him. He just got to go. And then when the game starts, look out for the striped shirts.
Yeah.
Because it could get a little rough down on the sidelines at that point.
Well, it's time now to catch up with a former TTU athlete. This former Golden Eagle tennis player has overcome some unbelievable obstacles. Let's take a look at where Matthew Bulow has landed.
My name is Matt Bulow. I played tennis at Tennessee Tech from 1986 to 1990. Yeah, kind of a very atypical story is I actually didn't start playing until my senior year in high school, which is kind of the opposite typically in tennis, is people usually start very, very young. So I started just my last year and then caught the bug, thought of the opportunity of, wow, I can play right here in my home city, and just didn't put it down for a year and a half to really hone my game and make up for 10 years that I wasn't playing it. My Paralympic experience started in 1988. I had lost my leg to cancer in 1983, and really it was huge for me to stay into athletics, and I always thought of myself as an athlete and didn't want to lose that just because of cancer. So I stayed very active. In 1988, went to Seoul, South Korea, and competed in the 100, 4x100 and long jump. And then 92, went to Barcelona, and then 96, Atlanta. So actually 3, Olympic cities, and it was a cool experience. I definitely have my weaknesses, but one of things that I'm not weak on is I can take a punch and stick with it if it's something I'm passionate about. And I tend to be a pretty passionate person and get excited and really into things that I want to be. And sports was one of those from very early years. And it was just too big of a part of my identity to lose because of an amputation. So I never really questioned that. It was almost more for me like a torn ACL. Is okay, I have to rehab from this, and then am I going to have to miss this season, or am I back late season? So for me, fortunately, the way my brain works is that it just wasn't really an option to quit. Prosthetics just felt like a natural progression, and I was fortunate that my prosthetist, when I was probably 16 years old, put the bug in my ear of, hey, maybe you should do this. I mean, it's because there's the technical aspect of what we do that we take very seriously, but The other 50% that I take just as seriously is the connection with the person, because an amputation does change people. I worked for a big company for about 15 years, a huge company in our industry that is probably equal to about a third of our industry, and that was a great formative time. I had good years there with them, but I had the itch to go do my own thing, sort of develop the core beliefs of the company on what I felt very passionate about. So went on my own. Actually, my first location was in Cookeville, and then we have grown now to where we have 6 locations in Middle Tennessee, and I'm based in Nashville, and then we also have locations in 3 other states. My name is Matt Bulow, and that's where I've landed.
What a great story of perseverance.
Oh, man, that's a good one there. That's one of the better ones. And an interesting thing he said, he didn't play tennis but 1 year and then ends up playing in college.
Yeah.
That don't happen very often.
That's a quick learner.
But to come back from all he's done, we get these kind of stories every week. This is one of the better ones to me, but these Tennessee Tech kids become men, and we're very proud of them.
Yep. Stay with us. We got more Watson Brown Show coming up. Don't go away.
Tennessee Tech tickets available at 931-372-3940 or ttusports.com.
Welcome back to the Watson Brown Show, presented by IWC Cash and Carry. Well, if you have a question for Coach Brown, you can tweet it at TTU Golden Eagles. And just like always, we have some questions for you, Coach, that have been tweeted in as we move into this segment sponsored by the Golden Eagles Sports Network. Your first Twitter question comes from Tony111, and he wants to know, how much did the offensive line improve against Murray State?
Well, I think quite a bit. I really do, but I also think opponent has a little bit to do with that. And the 3 defensive opponents we played up to that time didn't move the ball near as well as we did Saturday night. But I'm not sure it didn't prepare us to play better Saturday night. So sometimes losses hurt, but at the same time, if you're sometimes playing a better opponent, if you don't get injured too bad, if you're playing a better opponent, it gets you better. So I do think there was a lot of improvement from the last game at Northern Iowa till Saturday night.
Good. Another Twitter question for you. This one from Jay Talbot. How do you change your preparations for a game on a short week like this one?
Well, I've done a lot of this. As I said earlier, at UAB we had to play a lot of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night ESPN games. And so probably 4 a year we would play at UAB. And you'd catch long weeks, 10-day weeks, or you'd catch 5-day weeks sometimes. And I think on the 5-day weeks, you got to be very careful with your legs.
Yeah.
I don't do anything with the pads much at all in that length of time. Get them mentally prepared, and your game plans really have to be simple. You cannot get deep. I think it hurts both offenses in these kind of nights because you really got to have a lot of carryover from your game before in what you've tried to do.
Yeah, and speaking of next week's opponent, it's time now to talk about this week's opponent, and that is the Skyhawks of Tennessee Martin. The Golden Eagles kick off with the Skyhawks of Tennessee Martin on Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. at Hardy Graham Stadium. And, Coach, you've had some success there at Hardy Graham Stadium during your career at Tennessee Tech.
Knock on wood, we've never lost there.
Yeah.
We've yet to lose a game there, and we don't want it to be Thursday night. We want to go in and see if we can knock them off. And both of the road teams have won a lot of these games.
Yeah.
I think we're 4-3 with them, and since I've been here, they've all been great games. We had to win there in the championship year, buddy. When we won, had to beat them on the road. We knocked them off when they had a chance to win the championship here 2 years ago.
Yes.
In a great game when Darian Stone was National Player of the Week.
Yeah.
And last year they got us in a close game, and Darian Stone went out in the first quarter. Jared Davis had to play the whole game. So this has just been a great series. They're a very good football team. They're like us. They've played a really tough schedule so far. We're going to go get after them, and I promise you they'll show up and get after us.
Now, do they have a lot of the same personnel that they had last year?
Yeah, they lost some of the defensive players. Their defense, if you remember a year ago, was really stout. They're probably more players back on offense than defense, but they're again a very solid football team. Their record is not any indication of how good this team is.
And last year, it was a good game. Through about 3 quarters, they wound up winning 28-17. What do you take from last year's game going into this game?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I think every year is different. This team for them is different than last year. I think their strength is a little more on the offensive side. Their defense is solid. Last year, their strength absolutely was their defense. And so each team's different. Ours is sure different. I think we're much younger than we were a year ago, playing more young people than we seemed to last year when we were playing them and watching the tape from the season before. So, but I think we match them well. I think it'll be a really good game.
Defensively, I know you used a lot of personnel in the game, this past game on Saturday night against Murray State. Are you going to travel? I mean,
well, you can't travel 70.
Yeah.
Your road travel numbers are down when you travel in the conference. But we had to play a lot the other night. A few injured guys got hurt. I mean, got injured. Number one, they added 100-something plays.
Yeah.
So we had to play a lot of people to keep us fresh.
Right.
And I did think in the fourth quarter we were the fresher team. We had it 83 plays. They had 105. That's a lot of football. It's a lot of snaps.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you Thursday night in Martin.
Thanks.
All right. Kickoff set for 6:30 at UT Martin. You can listen to the game on KISS 98.5 and, of course, read about it in the Herald-Citizen. For Coach Brown and Buddy Pearson, see you next week on The Watson Brown Show.
The Watson Brown Show has been brought to you by IWC Cash and Carry, Wendy's Breakfast of Cookeville, Zaxby's, Pepsi, and Miller Lite.
With quality brand name products at affordable wholesale prices, Cash and Carry is the perfect place to shop. Whether shopping for individual, business, churches, or more, Cash and Carry is sure to meet your needs. Cash and Carry of Cookeville, 931-528-8050.